Today's Fed decision time, quad witching right around the corner, while most traders are going to pull their hair out in the next 3 days trying to trade around this. Good luck with that, people. We here at Hot Trades of the Day going to take a step back, let the market sort itself out, and use this time to talk about one of the most interesting uranium explorers out there, Sky Harbor Resources. Not many people know about this company yet, because this company has one of the most interesting and potentially very, very lucrative long-term stories in the uranium sector. Let's get into it. Welcome to Hot Trades of the Day, your show for swing trading ideas for the coming days, weeks, and month. Okay, let's start with housekeeping first. As always, I'm not getting compensated by this company for this video analysis. I do not hold stocks of Sky Harbor Resources at the moment. I would be interested in buying them at the right price. Let's get into the story. So, Sky Harbor Resources is a small uranium explorer, $100 million Canadian market cap, so around 75-ish million US. So we're right on the cusp, right? We're right on the cusp of jumping from nano cap stock to small cap stocks, 100 million. That's a good size to start off with. So at the moment, most of the explorers are not in the focus of the market. Everybody's focusing on the producers, especially in the US and Canada. Makes sense. They will profit from the US government announcing that they want to increase their stockpile in uranium. But let's not make any mistake about it. As their stocks get more and more expensive because the uranium market is so small, investors gonna move out on the risk curve into the explorer sector, and then we'll try to look at the quality companies in the explorer sector. They're willing to take the risk, but then they want the quality companies. I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe Sky Harbor Resources is one of the quality explorers out there. They have a very, very unique business model. They're basically two companies, two uranium companies in one. They're an explorer, and they're exploring two very interesting projects in Canada in the Athabasca Basin, and we'll talk about that in a second because that is crucial for the story. And they're also at the same time a prospect generator. And that's what we're going to talk about in the next video. Let's jump right into the story of Sky Harbor Resources. And as always, we start very different than what most people are used to. We're going to start with the capital structure. This is really important when we talk about mining companies, right? A company can have the greatest project in the world, or the two greatest or three greatest most promising exploration projects, blah, blah, blah. But if the capital structure is effed up and they have gigantic warrants outstanding and an overhang, they have no money, they constantly need to raise money, they get bad conditions, meaning a unit is consists of a share and half a warrant, a full warrant, whatever, you as a shareholder are going to get diluted like crazy. So even the company value may go up over time, your share price may not, or you will make a lot less money than you actually should because there are just more shares outstanding. Now, if we look at the capital structure of Sky Harbor Resources, we see in the middle, they have 204.5 million shares outstanding. If we add the warrants, fully diluted, 233.5, so around 15%. That is really good for a commodity explorer. I'm okay with that. I'm absolutely okay with that. That is very positive. Also very positive. They have very, very high institutional ownership for such a small company. And that is something that got me noticing Sky Harbor Resources in the first place. Institutions and insiders hold around, I would say around 50% of the shares. Super high for such a small explorer. And that is always a very, very good sign. The smart uranium money really likes the long-term potential of Sky Harbor Resources. That's the good thing about the smart money uranium sector. That's sticky money. That's not the fast money like the retail investors that are in and out. If the stock is not up 137% in 2 hours, these people play the long game. And you see there's some of the big names on here. There are also some very big commodity hedge funds that are invested big time in Sky Harbor Resources that are not even on this list. But let's get into the project, because obviously, and I understand that is what everybody wants to talk about. So we're going to start, because that's where you have to start when we talk about Sky Harbor Resources, with the Athabasca uranium project. Actually, let me put this right here because we need this graphic right here. So the Athabasca Basin is the most important uranium project in the world. Not in Canada, not in North America, in the world. Why? Because the Athabasca Basin has the highest uranium grades in the world. So the average grades of uranium in the soil there is between 1 to 2%. And it goes up to levels that are up to 100x higher than the average uranium grade you get in uranium projects anywhere else in the world. That is super high, right? 1 to 2%. And now please take a look at that graphic right next to my ugly face. 1% uranium. If you translate that into what that would mean for gold or silver or copper or zinc, it would be equivalent to 14.9 gram per ton gold. If you know anything about gold, you know that is a world-class bonanza grade. It's almost impossible to find. In the Athabasca Basin, that's the average. So this is the place. For example, you know I'm a big fan of Denison Mines, who's developing one of the best commodity projects, not only uranium, among all commodities in the world right now. Where is Denison Mines developing their uranium project? Athabasca Basin. So as you can see, this is when the uranium boom starts growing. Where will people look? They'll look at the producers first, and then they'll look at where are the most interesting projects. And that'll lead them to the Athabasca Basin. That's the first place they'll go. So what does Sky Harbor Resources have here? What are we talking about? This is an exploration company. Well, this looks a little crazy, but bear with me because I'll walk you through this. This is the Athabasca Basin. I'm not kidding. Sky Harbor Resources holds 37 projects in and around the Athabasca Basin. Now, they're not going to develop all of them. They're not even going to develop most of them. But this is the interesting part with a prospect generator model and the exploration model. Basically, the way Sky Harbor Resources structured their business model is super, super clever. They gobbled up all the claims that they could get in and around the Athabasca Basin before uranium got hot. So they gobbled up these land packages at really attractive valuations. And they have two core projects that they are exploring, and this is these two, Russell Lake and Moore. So when we talk about Sky Harbor Resources as an exploration company, we're talking about these two projects. So they bought the Moore project from Denison Mines, and they joined the joint venture with nobody other than Rio Tinto for Russell Lake. Those are the two projects where they're doing exploration, that they're developing. All the other projects that you see on here, we'll talk about them tomorrow, that's prospect generation. That is actually not that important. There's one project that has bigger potential at the moment, but really that's it. For us, that's all bonus. It's Moore and Russell Lake. So Russell Lake, Sky Harbor Resources owns 37.7% of the joint venture with Rio Tinto. They're already exploring it. There's exploration happening in 2025. They've been drilling on this for quite some time. This is a legit project with a legit partner. And then we'll get more into the details tomorrow. We start with the overview because it's such a unique business concept. And then the Moore project, that's the second big project, they own 100%. Excellent. They're also doing exploration on this. So these are moving forward. That's the exploration part. And then we have the prospect generation part. And what that means, we will talk about that tomorrow. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about a company that's valued around 75 million US, that has 2 exploration projects in the number 1 uranium district in the world that historically has unusually high uranium grades. And this company also has literally 37, not a math guy, 39 minus 2 means 37 other claims, potential projects as a prospect generator that we get as a bonus on top. Now, if you tell me that's not exciting, I don't know what to tell you in the uranium sector. It's very unique. Sky Harbor Resources is valued basically like a junior explorer, but they're not. They're very competent management. They're very, very, very high percentage of institutional ownership, smart money, smart uranium money ownership. That shows us something. That shows us that people really like these projects and they really like the business concept. And they're advancing 2 projects in the best uranium destination that we have in the world. That is really interesting. And nobody's on this stock yet. We'll get deeper into it in tomorrow's video. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss tomorrow's video. And I'll see you after the Fed decision. Bye-bye.